Hello, everyone, and welcome to the beginning of my Pokemon Emerald Nuzlock series. And hopefully, this series is what pushes me over the line of being able to do things over here on YouTube. And hopefully, y'all enjoy. So, we start off by naming our character, obviously, like every other Pokemon game. And then, for some reason, my mother thought it would be a good idea to put me inside of a moving truck with packages. Like, who does that? Oh, and also, y'all, by the way, I am so sorry if my script is not good. You want to know why that is? Because I ain't got one. I haven't spent time making a script. I'm going off whatever goes in the head. And maybe in future videos, I will have a script written and everything. So, hopefully, I can get more time to do more things and everything. But yeah, so y'all know how the beginning of Pokemon Emerald starts off. You basically just go up to your room and fix the clock, and then go down. Your dad's on the TV, and then you go over to your neighbor and you talk to May, which is the daughter of the Pokemon professor. And then once you get done with that, you go up to talk to this kid, which is basically saying that the Pokemon professor is getting mauled by a Zigzagoon. So we decide to help him out, and we take his Mudkip. So our starter Pokemon for this series is going to be Mudkip. So we beat the Zigzagoon with ease. Then, once we talk to the professor, he takes us to the lab and he gives us the Mudkip. And we named this Mudkip. We are going to name this Mudkip after a long thinking. I decided to name it Flipper. Don't ask me why. I have no clue why I did. But Flipper is the first member of the team of hopefully many other Pokemon. And we go up to Route 101. We do a little bit of training here. We fight Poochianas, we fight Wurmples, we do the basic little bit of grinding. And I will see y'all once something bad or in a major fight happens, because like I'm going to say now, during these videos, I'm not going to be voiceovering the entire time. So I will only be like going over serious fights or when some casualties happen, or yeah, so basically gym leaders, evil team fights, and deaths are the only thing I'm really going to be voicing over in this series. So have fun, enjoy the video, and we will definitely see each other in this video. That's all I'm gonna say. And this is the first rival battle of the game, so I am going to be voicing over it. So it's not going to be every rival match that I voice over, but once in a while I will be voice overing during a rival fight. But during this fight, this is a pretty easy fight. We basically just spam mud slap the entire time until we are basically out of mud slaps, which is basically enough to get him all the way down to -6 accuracy. And from there on, we basically just spam tackle until we knock out Trico. And from there on, we just win the first rival battle. Because we all know if you have -6 accuracy and you have one Pokemon left, you ain't hitting nothing. So, free first win against the rival. And our Route 101 encounter was a Wurmple that I'm surprised I caught because most of the time I kill my first encounter. But while thinking of a name, I was hoping for a Beautyfly. So I decided to name it Harpy. I don't know why. I don't know why I named it that. I don't know why I named it that. I really don't. But Harpy is the first member of the team. And our Route 103 encounter is Wingull, which I love Wingull so much. So it was a very, very happy find for me. Like I said just a couple of seconds ago, I love Wingull so much. I don't know why, but I catch this Wingull after a couple of Pokeballs because I don't know why, but Wingull doesn't like to be caught from me. I don't know why, but I catch the Wingull and I decide to be like, you know what? Hopefully I can make this thing a Pelipper. And I'm like, I'm going to name it Toilet because y'all know what Pelipper looks like. And if not, I will put one on the screen now. It literally looks like a toilet. It looks like a toilet bird. I'm sorry. And on Route 102, I was hoping for a Roltz, but we end up getting Poochyena, which is still a great Pokemon. I love Poochyena. I love Mightyena. Some of my favorite Pokemon are Gen 3 Pokemon. And Poochyena, I would not be mad at because Intimidate, very busted. So I decide to name this Poochyena. I named it the name Fuzz because I don't know why. It just sounds like Poochyena just looks like a fuzzy dog. So, yeah. And my next encounter is Meryl. That since my last encounter was a Poochyena and I already have a Poochyena, I do have Dupe's Claws in this, so I am not allowed to catch Pokemon I've already caught. But when I encountered this Meryl, I was hoping for a Tailo, because Tailo is one of the best birds in this game. It is the best flying type, in my opinion, in this game. So when I found a Meryl, I was very upset. I was very, very, very upset. There was, like, not a chance I was going to be happy with this, besides if it had huge power. But I decided to name this Meryl Balls. You already know why. But when I go to check the Meryl to see if it was huge power, it was thick fat. And I was completely disappointed in this Meryl. encounter for the forest is Shroomish, which is one of my favorite Pokemon. Breloom being an amazing grass fighting type, which, yes, it has a few weaknesses, but a very, very cool typing, in my opinion. We do end up getting poison, which in Gen 3 is very, very bad because I ain't got nothing for healing poison, and outside of battle, it does damage to your Pokemon after every couple of steps. So I do end up weakening this Shroomish all the way down to red with Poochyena, and then I do end up catching this Shroomish. And I'm like, what should I name this? I'm going to name it Shrooms. Yeah, don't ask me. And yes, I did mess up a lot while trying to name this thing. So, and I probably did I spelled it wrong. I'm just now realizing, watching this back, I spelled his name wrong. And here's me trying to get to the Pokemon Center with a poisoned Mudkip, which is very, very scary in this game. But luckily, I do have potions to heal up my little Mudkip every once in a while, so he does not die during this trip to the Pokemon Center. And I'm so glad I spent money on potions, because if I did not buy potions, my Mudkip would have died from this poison. It would have died. But luckily, we made it safely to the Pokemon Center, and we did not lose our starter this early in the run. And in the forest, we do run into our first Team Aqua Grunt. But he only has a level 9 Poochyena, so it gets 3-shot by Mudkip's water gun. It almost gets 2-shot, but we do get a low roll on the second water gun, which will be a problem in this if we get a low roll at the wrong time. But we beat the Team Aqua Grunt, and we get a Great Ball out of it. So I call that a fair trade. 116, we encounter a Whismer as our first encounter, which is not that good, honestly. Whismer is not really good, not even Exploud's that good, but it is an encounter that we do have to take. Right here would have been another shot at Taylor, would also be a shot at Nincada, which evolves into Ninjask and Shedinja. Shedinja is an amazing Pokemon if you bring it into the right fight. But we end up naming this Whismer Sound because of its ability, Soundproof. And basically, its whole evolutionary line is about loud sounds and music. So, yeah. In the first casualty will come to the hands of a Whismer, actually. It will come to its uproar. I was training up Shroomish, and I decided to send in Poochyena, which I thought a tackle would kill from that range, but it did not, which did lead to Poochyena's death. So we did send out Sound, and we did finish it off with a pound from Sound. But the first death being Poochyena still hurt because I was excited to use Mighty Anna in this Let's Play, but dreams always come short. The second casualty will also come to Whismer. I don't know what Whismer has against me, bro. And like I was saying earlier, with the low rolls is also the reason why we lost Toilet the Wingull. So Toilet never got to fulfill his name as a Pelipper, and as you can tell by the long pause in this video, I was severely upset because, like I said, when I caught Toilet, I love Wingull, I love Pelipper, so this death really hurt me more than most of the other deaths that happened in this video. And it will most likely be the death that hurts me the most. But Toilet, you will be missed, my friend. And the third casualty, which will be the last of this video, will go to a Talo, and sound is the loss of the third death, which there's nothing I can do. I clicked uproar and it couldn't do nothing, so I couldn't swap sound out, which I will completely take the blame for. There's nothing I could do with uproar being locked in, so sound did sadly go down to this Talo. But Shrooms, the Shroomish, that is spelled wrong, by the way, like I said earlier, still mad that I spelled it wrong, took revenge on the Talo. And this is when I was like, you know what, I'm not going to basically allow any more Pokemon that I think I don't need to use right now die in vain of during just training, because all these deaths were training. This was when I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna put Wurmple and Meryl in the PC to use them for a later fight. And yeah, so we are basically just rocking with Mudkip and Shroomish for this first gen. with everything going on in this run going completely wrong, I was like, you know what? I'm done training. I know I'm 3 levels under the level cap with Shroomish, but I decided to be like, you know what? I'm just going to do this gym fight. I go in under leveled, and yeah. So we end up knocking out the first Geodude with Shroomish and his absorbs. And when the second one comes in, I forgot to turn this off switch mode. So in the next episode, it will be off switch mode. It will be on set mode. But for the second Geodude, I send in Flipper to spam Water Gun, which is a complete one shot for the Shroomish. Flipper getting to the level cap during the gym fight. But for Nosepass, I switch into Shroomish. And this match does go on for a while. We start off by hitting a Leech Seed on the Nosepass, getting some little chip damage. And then I get blocked in, so I can't switch out with Shroomish anymore. So Shroomish is stuck in this fight. But we do get a Stun Sport off on the Nosepass, and then from there on, we just start spamming Absorb, and we basically get a full para on the first, and then it basically is just stacking up damage and healing with Leech Seed and Absorb, which are both healing moves. If you don't know, they are both healing moves. And Leech Seed does, I think, 1/8 of their max health every turn. But Roxanne does use a potion when it is about to fall, and we keep just draining out of this Nosepass. Nosepass is getting drained. It is getting its life drained out of it as the battle goes on more and more. But we do eventually end off this Nosepass with a Absorb, and this is where we are going to call the first video. We are probably going to do maybe 1 gym per video. Maybe not next video. We might do 2 in the next video, because on the way from this gym to the second gym is not that long. There's not a lot of stuff going on.